So it's been a little while since my last video. I've been working on my steering, trying to make up for a few things that the kit doesn't really provide you to make the steering, make the column mount nice and solid, and then kind of make everything, the pillow block and whatnot, and the extra pillow block they give you in the kit, need a mount for that, and also just make things so they work out nice. So start off, I replaced the the column's supposed to go up against this plate here, but you can't do that because I think in Gene's video he said it to, when you come around to the other side of the column, there's this little ball right in here that when you mount your actuator in, it needs to line up with this ball. The only way it lines up is if you have this this drop down. So I dropped it down with an aluminum spacer now that I machined up, and then I also put a steel, I guess, spacer slash washer. It's real thick there, so that when I tighten up this bolt, it covers the gap in the OEM part, but doesn't end up, bending when you tighten that up. So that helped out. And then the column, if you just grab onto it, even when it's tight, after you cut it off, it kind of wobbles. So I made a little part for that. And that's this, I made a few parts, I guess. I've made this piece here, which has a little flat on it. That actually goes, I guess I'll say this plastic piece, which is from the OEM column. It's the plastic bushing that you end up cutting part of it off when you cut the column, but I just cut a little piece and I'm going to press it in here, and then this piece goes ahead and will slip over the top of the column, and it fits real tight with the plastic piece in there. And then I made basically this steel piece here that will mount to this piece here. So you can see those holes line up. There's just some 832 screws, and then this will mount right up to the frame on these rivet nuts, and then that supports the column and still allows the column to slide in and out, because you can see when you move it, if you watch the chrome piece there, that slides back and forth. So having this with the bushing right there inside of it still allows that to slide back and forth, and then there's a little bit of a bend in this to make it work out. So, and this is pretty standard. This is what the kit has you do. They don't tell you about putting dimples in the shaft, but I put the dimples in there so that when you tighten up the set screws from this universal joint, the set screws will go down into those dimples, and you don't want that coming loose when you're driving, so the dimples give a little added level of safety. And then I went ahead and added this cross member here and put some rivet nuts into the frame and screwed it in. And then what I made for my pillow block bearing was I have this this block here that these platforms have an 8-degree angle on them that lines up with the shaft, and then this whole piece goes down under here and goes on the shaft, and then this, once you're on the shaft, this ends up fitting up in there, and you can see that those holes, I don't know if you can see that, but those line up, and then you can move it left and right. So anyway, a little bit of work. This piece doesn't obviously come with the kit, but just something I kind of made up, and that makes everything pretty rock solid. So pretty happy about that. So I'm going to try to get that all put together tonight here, and I've been working on all those pieces for a little while. And then my pedal box is in permanently. That's all Loctited and everything, and I guess I was doing a little reading, and the kit comes with 3 3/4-inch bore master cylinders from Wilwood, and I was reading that if you put a 5/8 over here for the clutch, it makes the clutch push a little easier, and then potentially also makes it so you can't over travel the clutch. back at the transmission and break off the ears for the shaft. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been working on. I also, the AC is sitting in there, but haven't done a whole lot with that. I was waiting for my foot box sheet metal to come back from the powder coater, and that's actually sitting back here on the back, so I've got that and still going with that kind of crinkle finish. But I've got all that done and ready to install, so I think once I get my steering column all finished up, I'll probably go ahead and get that footbox sheet metal installed. And then I'm going to, before I get the footbox sheet metal installed over here, I'm going to permanently mount my AC unit, which one thing I noticed is the sheet metal comes right up against this surface of this little brain box here, the little controller. And that's actually where you have to plug the wires in, so I'm going to have to move that. I think I saw on somebody's website they had a bracket coming off of, maybe it was, could have been Run Rummer or Edgeman's GTM. I think he put a aluminum bracket down here and then just move this over so you could then, move the plug-ins here away from that wall, and I think that'll work out real nice. I found a new use for the little stereo closeout panel. It's a great tool holder while you're building the kit. And I also got the computer mount done. I modified that a little bit. The way they had you do it was kind of a little bit cheesy, but if you can see under here, I made an aluminum plate that actually mounted to the plastic, and there's some pictures I think on the site here that shows kind of how I did that, but that was a lot better way than all three mounting holes for the tack box. Those all got to get used, and everything's pretty solid, so it doesn't move around. So modified that a little bit, and yeah, things are going pretty well. It's coming along. I don't think I don't know if it's moving. It's moving along pretty good, but kind of put the parking brake in there. I'll probably have to take that out when I drop the motor in, but got that in there as well, and not too much else going on. Seems like there was something else I was going to mention, but I think that's about it for this video. So anyway, when I get maybe a few more things done here, I'll shoot another vid, but